Before we dive in, do me one big favor. Hit subscribe, like, and drop a comment below because the ghosts in this story, yeah, they really hate silent viewers, and if you don't engage, they might just make sure you can't. Let us go back to the winter of '98. A woman named Laura Mitchell moved into this cheap little rental house on Red Hollow Road, right on the outskirts of Ashland, Oregon. It was a quiet place, completely surrounded by forest. The kind of house that's so suspiciously cheap, you just know something is deeply wrong with it. And she found out exactly what that was on her very first night. At precisely 3:14 a.m., the front door unlocked itself just a single click and swung wide open. There was no wind, no footsteps outside, nothing. Just an icy, unnatural cold that rolled straight from the doorway, down the hall, and right into her bedroom. The next morning, Laura wasn't taking any chances. She went out and bought a brand new, heavy-duty lock and replaced the old one herself. She felt a little safer, but that night, the exact same thing happened. Same time, same brand new lock. Same slow, deliberate creak of the door swinging open into the dark. Freaked out, she called the landlord. He didn't sound surprised at all. He just sighed and said, "Yeah, other tenants have mentioned that too. But it's nothing dangerous. Physically. That one word just hung in the air, and it stuck with her, sending a chill down her spine. What did he mean? Physically. A few days later, the weird stuff got worse. Much worse. At night, Laura started hearing whispers in the hallway. They weren't really voices, it was more like breathing, a shaky, close inhale, followed by a long, drawn-out exhale, like someone was standing inches from her ear, trying to say her name but forgetting how to form the words. She started sleeping with all the lights on. She even kept a baseball bat by her bed. It didn't help. The feeling of being watched never went away. On the seventh night, she decided she needed proof. She set up her old camcorder on a tripod, pointing it directly at the front door. She went to bed, heart pounding, and waited. And at 3:14 a.m. on the dot, it happened again. The click, the creak, the cold, but this time the camera caught something, a shape. It was tall, bent over. And it was pure black like a shadow that had no source of light to cast it. It didn't walk. It crawled. Its joints cracked and popped as it moved, bending the wrong way like a creature learning how to use its legs for the very first time. It scuttled across the floor, past the camera, and crawled right up to the foot of her bed. And then it just stood there, motionless, watching her sleep. But as soon as it reached her, the camera glitched, dissolving into a screen of pure static. The next morning, Laura didn't even pack. She grabbed the tape and drove straight to the sheriff's office. The sheriff, a tired-looking man who'd seen a lot, watched the video with her. He paused it on the last clear frame of the figure, leaned back in his chair, and said, "We've had calls from that house before. People don't stay long, whatever this is. It ain't human." Laura didn't need to hear anything else. That was it. She raced back to the house, threw her things in her car, and called the landlord to tell him she was leaving. She demanded her last month's rent back, but he flat out refused. And then he said something that made her skin crawl. "It shows up when the house is empty too," he said, his voice low. "But it gets angrier. It's better for everyone if someone is inside." She hung up, disgusted and terrified. She got in her car to leave, but just before she drove off, she had an idea. She took the camcorder, placed it near the front door inside the now empty house, hit record, and drove away without ever looking back. 2 days later, the landlord called her. His voice was shaking so badly she could barely understand him. "The house is empty," he stammered, "but the camera, something's on it." The police went back to the house to check the tape. For the first day, the footage showed an empty, quiet home. The second day was the same. Until 3:14 a.m. This time, the door didn't just open. Two shadows crawled in, one tall and bent, the other smaller, moving with a frantic, jerky energy like it was desperately searching for something. Or someone. They stopped right in front of the camera. And for the first time, they looked straight into it. It was as if they could see right through the lens to whoever would eventually watch this tape. The taller one leaned in so close its face filled the entire screen. No eyes, no mouth, no features at all, just a trembling black shape, pulsing as if it were breathing. Then the static hit again, a blast of white noise. But just before the tape cut out completely, a single, horrifying whisper slipped through the hiss. "Don't ignore us." So, if you've made it this far into the story, you better have already hit subscribe, like, and left a comment. Because stories like this, they get attention. And the spirits of Red Hollow Road, they don't like being ignored. Trust me. You do not want them opening *** your *** door at 3:14 a.m. Thanks for watching.